Aloha! Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Truth in Movie Mondays. So this is going to be really fun, and to everybody who's in the chat right now, thank you for your patience. We have some technical difficulties as usual, but it looks like it's going to be okay. So, hey, welcome. Let me just jump into the chat. So if you're watching later on, skip forward about 5 minutes. I want to hang out with my people real quick and say hello, since everybody patiently waited for me to get everything fixed here on my side. I know a lot of people are like, no worries, this always happens, pretty much. Oh, and also, I might as well let you guys know, I figured out how to take live calls on my channel. So, this Wednesday might be the first time that we start taking calls and stuff like that, which I'm pretty excited about because it's so much easier for me to talk when I have someone else to have dialogue with. That's why I like to open up the chat and stuff. So hey, let me go ahead and give a huge shout out to everybody who's in the chat as of right now. That would be Angel Lovebud, Billy Hansen 12, Crosto Far of the Sun So Far, sweet, DB, D Wilson, Dark Light Empath, Henry Langland, Lisa Post, Livy D, M. Kubas 7877, Mo Says Edwards, Prophecy Theorist, Ari Lied, Stephanie McGuire, The World is a Stage, Exit Right, Tommy T, Virginia Shawbell, and Yokohama Mike, and a whole bunch of other people that are joining in chat right now. Sorry, you missed it. Hey, I want to say this. At the end of all my videos, I always play the credits of everyone who's, like a member of my channel and whatnot. I'm so honored to see all these names. I'm like, man, if all these people, if their channel name describes some aspect or portion of myself, because like attracts like, I'm so honored. I love seeing everybody's names and stuff when I do the credits and stuff. Okay, so all right, let's jump into this. Let's jump into this movie. Actually, let's fix this so it looks like there's only one picture up here. How about Fopow? Nope, wrong one. How about Fopow? Yep, that was the right one. All right, sweet. So this movie's called Infinite. Now, I want to give you guys a heads up. Normally on my Truth in Movie Mondays, I'm still trying to figure out a process, but it's very difficult to like record movie clips and stuff so that I can, do what I do on YouTube and stuff without all sorts of various consequences. So I'll usually like take a screenshot of a picture or whatever. I don't have that this time because I've got some glitches and computer issues that I'm getting fixed up. So we're just going to have this thumbnail up for most of the time, and then I'm going to do some screen sharing whenever it becomes relevant to etymology and learning certain words and stuff like that. We're going to talk about various symbolism. Now, how many people in the chat have actually seen this movie? Just let me know. Give me like a thumbs up if you've seen the movie. If not, just say yes, I saw it, or no, I didn't see it, or whatever. Because it's a relatively brand new movie. It's got Mark Wahlberg in it and stuff. So let's get right into like what's the concept. The concept is that we have what they call the infinite. The infinite were born with perfect memory of their past lives. So that's the concept of the movie. There's a handful of people, maybe like 500 or so across the world, that have been reincarnated but don't have that veil of forgetfulness that is introduced to many of us whenever we are put back into another body, essentially. Okay, this definitely comes from the concept of reincarnation, life going on and existing, continuing over and over again. I know some people are opposed to that, some people are not into that, but I am, so I'm going to talk about it. All right, let's see. So we've got the infinite. The infinite are those who are born. Now, we've got one guy here, this guy right here. He represents basically what are called the nihilists. The nihilists of those who are reincarnated, but they don't forget their memories. They are the ones that seek to escape this world. They don't want to be here anymore. They're tired of the constant reincarnation cycle. They're tired of remembering time and time again They're not happy with where they are, and they want to go. They want to leave. Even if it means taking everyone else out with them, they want to go. So they want to stop this process of living over and over again. Then you've got the believers, represented by Marky Mark and a Funky Bunch over there. So Mark Wahlberg represents like the believers, the lead. Both these guys are like the main person for their group. The believers believe in their purpose. They believe there's a reason behind them remembering various truths and pasts and echoes from eternity, essentially. And they believe in humanity. They are here to help out because they're talented, because they carry on certain things from all their past lives, and they use what they have built up over time with what I call their spirit memory to help, to guide, to leave a trail of breadcrumbs so that other people can follow and find the path. So that's basically this movie in a nutshell. You've got the nihilists of those who are reincarnated and they remember who they are. They want out of this place. Okay. And that takes me to something very real. Okay. Let me bring up the chat too, because I don't want to miss anything. Let's see, 115 people watching. Hello to everybody right now. All right, I've got the chat pulled up here. If you want to get my attention, do type in @JayDreamerZ, please. Oh, that's weird. I've got the chat pulled up, but there's nothing. Oh, okay, I see. I had all the people. Okay, cool. All right, so I have to go back to my screen here. Okay, so these guys that want out, they are stuck in here, as are we all, for a time. They are tired. They don't want to be here anymore, okay? And if you've ever listened, if you're into like Vietnam era music, it's you know, like the soundtrack to Forrest Gump or something like that. All of those Vietnam era songs, I love them. They all have a sort of vibe and oftentimes a theme of some sort of elite of the elite who are talking amongst each other and saying, I hate this world. I don't want to be here anymore. I want out. I want to go away. They're not talking about suicide. They're not talking about killing themselves or anything. They're talking about leaving this enclosure that we live in that keeps us here and has us repeating life after life after life. So I found that interesting. Like, for example, the song that comes to mind right now, I forgot what it's called, but it's like, we gotta get out of this place. It's if it's the last thing we ever do, we gotta get out of this place. There's a better life. I don't know how it goes, but anyway, something like that. All right, so we've got these two groups. I believe that these two groups do exist. There are those of us who quickly, in these times that we're in right now, I'd say like within the past, I'd say generously speaking, maybe like 50 or 60 years, maybe 70, somewhere around there. It seems to me like everything has grown exponentially as far as this awakening that's happening, where people are starting to tap in and tune in to their inner voice and trust in their feelings and their intuition and open up and rely upon not just their reasoning and logic, but their creative minds as well. Because the creative mind is kind of, I feel like, what roots us into that spirit memory and opens the door to connect that, which we would call subconscious or collective subconscious, and then our conscious mind of the here and the now and the ego and everything that's involved with you and your skin and your bodysuit and whatever you've been through within that bodysuit so far. You know what I mean? That's very local. That's very now. That's very present. So, with that being said, let's see here. I keep losing the chat. I don't know why. Probably because my computer is crazy today. All right, so El Madero's in the chat says, JayDreamerZ up and running. I love you, man. Hey, I got a donation from DB. He says, I noticed that this movie was hated on by critics, which is usually a good sign of it being a movie with a lot of truth in it. I cannot agree with you more. I love cheesy movies that they say are terrible or hard to understand or confusing or I didn't get it. You know what I mean? Like, for example, There's a movie that's out right now. I think it's called The Green Knight. Somebody recommended it on one of my last live streams. So I went and watched the trailer for it, and then I read the reviews. The trailer looked amazing, but the reviews were like, this movie's too slow. They don't get to the point. They didn't stick to the true this and that. But I'm like, man, just based on the trailer alone, I see so much esoteric deep symbolism. Anyway, thank you so much, DB, for your donation, man. I appreciate it. Or woman. I don't know. All right, so let's see. Let's get back into this movie. I've got some notes here. I'm just going to check them out real quick. So we've got those who are born with perfect memory of their past lives. They are the infinites, and they're divided into two groups. The nihilists, who want to escape. That represents to me like NASA and Elon Musk and all these various space agencies that are building rockets to like travel the space out there or whatever. I'm not too sure about that. I'm pretty sure they're just doomsday preppers. And one of these days you'll see everything going off as they leave on a jet plane. And they don't know when they're coming back. All right, so we got the believers and the nihilists. The nihilists want to end all life on Earth to escape the reincarnation cycle. That's the main thing. They don't hate people or anything. They're like, I don't care if I take people out with me or whatever. Like, I just want it all to stop, right? Which kind of reminds me of that movie Dogma. If you guys have ever seen that, it's kind of a funny movie. In Dogma, there's this demon, right? And he's about to just erase existence by some crazy thing that he does that creates like throws a wrench in God's like system or whatever. So this demon is about to just end all of existence. And then this angel's like, why would you do that? Like, why would you take everyone out with you? And then the demon's like, or I think it was a human that said that. So he's like, human, have you ever been to hell? Like, he's trying to tell you like what excruciating pain it is for him or for them to have to go through this with this knowledge that they have. And this guy right here, he shares that same exact sentiment. He's like, I retain all of these memories, every single thing, and then I have to watch, essentially kind of like Agent Smith in The Matrix. You know, he has to watch humanity fail and fail and fail and get, you know, go through these cycles and stuff like that. And it seems to me like maybe they don't have the patience for it. I'm not sure. Because I find myself leaning more towards the believer side, even though I can understand the nihilist side, okay? I can definitely relate. Like, if the end of the world happened tomorrow, I would not be sad about it. I would probably be kind of stoked, right? However, the deepest part of me yearns for everyone to have that chance to turn it all around and live a better life and to raise the energy and stuff. Like, I want to do the most that I can do before nature takes its course, if that makes sense. All right, so anyhow, let's see what else we got. KB's in the chat says, JayDreamerZ, the animals sang it, and it was called We Gotta Get Out of This Place. That's right. The animals, right? Isn't that weird? They all had really weird names, too, back then. And, like, I mean, they still do, right? But, the animals. Weird. Interesting. Yes, good point. All right, so let's see here. What else do I got? Now, how do the nihilists want to eliminate the world, right? How do they want to get rid of everyone? They have a secret weapon called the egg. Pretty anticlimactic, wouldn't you say? Like, for such an awesome, epic Mark Wahlberg action movie or whatever, like an egg. Isn't it always something retarded like that? Something just looks and sounds super stupid and simple. That's because it's symbolic, right? They could, I mean, it's so profanely profound. It's the egg that can destroy the world. That's what it is. So when you figure out what the egg is, then you can see the egg symbolism throughout the movies. For example, like in Ready Player One. Remember that? How they had the Easter eggs or whatever that were hidden throughout the game, and they led to a change in the world as they knew it, essentially. Josh Husted is in the chat and says, love you, brother. You have a one-of-a-kind channel. Hey, man. Thanks, Josh. I appreciate it. All right. Remember, if you want to get my attention, you have to type in @JayDreamerZ. Otherwise, I do not read the whole chat. You got to, like, it highlights it. So you got to type in @JayDreamerZ. Rondorama AJ says, I have a question. How do you raise your vibration? Like, how do you even know what vibration you're already at? That's a good question. I would say in order to know where you are, you have to do a self-diagnostic. You got to check on yourself. You got to step outside of your own ego and blind spots from your bias, and you got to examine yourself. That's one thing that I would do. Now, how do you raise that vibration? I would say look for opportunities to be selfless instead of selfish. That's where I would start. So that's my 2 cents on that. All right, so let's get back to the movie. We've got... Oh, they're going to use the egg. Does anyone have a guess as to what the egg is? I'm curious. Like, I have my own thoughts, but I should not assume that everyone's thinking the same as me. What do you guys think the egg is? If an egg is symbolic of something that could destroy the world as we know it, what do you think that symbolizes? I'm going to leave that out there, and then I want to read some answers in the chat. Please do type in @JayDreamerZ so that I can read your answers as well. Now, I'm going to go on to the next topic. We'll come back to the egg symbolism. This guy, Mark Wahlberg over there, he represents the leader of the believers. He is... Davey818 donated through Super Chat and says, hey, dude, you're always keeping it real. Cinema has a way to mock us with their flicks. But somebody like you and us are onto their game. Cheers, dude. Well, thanks, Davey. I appreciate it. And I totally agree with you. That's why I like to do this particular segment where we talk about the truth that's in the movies, right? It's not really like movie commentary, you know what I mean? Like, what are those 2 guys called? Egbert and Richard? I forgot their names. And they're like the 2 thumbs up guys. I killed their names just now, but that's fine. DB's in the chat and says, JayDreamerZ, egg means a new birth. Okay, okay. So, you know, like what could cause that new birth? I'm just saying. Livy D is a member in the chat and says, JayDreamerZ, do you believe in Jesus? No shade, just curious. That's a good question, Livy. And I'm going to say I highly recommend checking out my video called Bluebeam. What was it called? Blue Fairy? Project Blue Fairy? Check that one out, and you will get all my thoughts about what and who I think Jesus is. Dark Light Impasse says, JayDreamerZ, how's the book doing? The book's doing great. I'm like, honestly, sometimes I forget I even wrote a book, and then I get like a notification like so-and-so bought your book or whatever. I'm like, oh, wow, that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Sogiometric says, JayDreamerZ, the cosmic egg, the beginning and the end. The shell is the earth/world. The chicken is life/human. No egg, no life. Ooh, that's a little closer to where I was also thinking as well. Nice one. Lena the nurse, hey. Oh yeah, Siskel and Ebert. Egg, what I call them? Egbert or whatever? I don't remember. Richard and Egbert or something like that. Yeah, whatever. I would way rather talk about the real stuff that's in the movies, not like how good of a movie it was. You know what I mean? I don't care. I love movies that suck as long as they have sweet symbolism for me to break down and relate to. I'm there. I want to get something profound out of it. I don't want to be amused. I don't want to just sit there and stare into a black frickin' mirror for 2 hours and not get anything out of it. F that. Sound Vibes is in the chat. It says, JayDreamerZ, a birth of a species, human or... I have no idea what you're talking about, Sound Vibes. I'm sorry, I lost it. I lost the thread there. All right, so let's move on. So this dude, Mark Wahlberg, right? He believes that humans are capable, and this is something that was not really stressed in the movie, right? Like if I was Egbert and Robert, I would be like, I don't know, man, because like they could have gone in like on an esoteric level. I really wish that they pursued this concept because he believes, hey, Anualalu again. Hey, Anualalu, it's good to see you again. Donated in the super chat and says, another great show. The movie V for Vendetta is art imitating life. Cheers. From the San Fernando Valley. I remember that one. Right on. Thanks again. Take off my glasses. Okay. I mean, you know, if it makes you feel better, there you go. Not something I can do. I could definitely do that. See, the thing is, though, like, I've had problems with my lighting. So, as you can see, black is not working too well with how I set it up here. So I'll be very see-through and just literally like a talking head if, you know. So I put the sunglasses for contrast, just so you know. Thank you, Mikael Angel. He says, dude, take your glasses off. All right. Well, there you go. Boom. No problem. All right. Livy D's in the chat. Actually, hold up. There's a few people commenting. One moment. Rhonda Rama AJ says, JayDreamerZ, eggs to me always represent life, and they to me are a vessel for life. If what comes out of the egg causes destruction, then the thing that made the egg was already evil, I think. I think that you're onto something there. Okay? I think that you should pursue that path a little bit further. Davey818 says, JayDreamerZ, the flick They Live. The aliens had a spaceport on Earth. They didn't say it, but you know that the humans were also traveling the universe. Yes, I totally agree. That's a good movie, too. Krastofar of the Sun So Far says, JayDreamerZ, the world serpent, Kundalini, has itself wrapped around the egg of life, or Gaia, guarding it from the other beasts, Fantazoids, in the great deep of the world. Yes, look at you. Man, I'm so proud of you guys. I love how you guys put these little puzzle pieces together. Livy D says, JayDreamerZ, have you ever checked out Extreme Reality Check's channel? Yeah, she actually gave me a shout out once. I guess my mom was in the chat. My mom really likes her show. So my mom was in the chat and she's like, you should look at my son's channel. And she totally did and gave me a shout out. So, hey, thank you to Extreme Reality Check for your shout out. Sound Vibe says, JayDreamerZ, sorry about that. I pressed send prematurely. No worries. Darklight Empath. Check out the Facts How to Hunt channel. Okay, okay. All right, let's get back to this movie real quick. We got the leader. The leader believes that humanity, including himself, is capable of things that are only properly labeled in today's modern age as paranormal. Treadway, which is this guy's name, believes that humans are capable of paranormal and superhuman feats, manipulating the energy of the world around us. That sounds like me. I totally believe that too. I'm on his side. I love that, right? I'm on both their sides, actually. I'm not really, I don't like to pick sides. Nah, forget that. I'm like right in the middle. I wish they would just, you know, I wish they would compromise is what I would wish. But anyhow, yes, for sure. This guy totally, and they only mention it kind of briefly, and they only show it very briefly in the movie too. I really wish they went more into like the supernatural paranormal powers and stuff that this guy believes that humanity can have. They do exhibit a couple of them like towards the end of the movie, but it doesn't really show a lot of it. So anyhow, I'm super on board with that. Now, I'm also going to say this whole movie is basically about the plasma apocalypse. I mean, come on. I'm going to relate everything to the plasma apocalypse, including this guy. Angel Wings just donated $5 in the super chat. Hey, thanks, Angel Wings. And we've got Josh Husted. The Facts How to Hunt and JayDreamerZ definitely in sync. Right on, right on. Oh, The Facts How to Hunt. Oh, that's a channel. Okay, I'll go back and read the chat and I'll check it out. I promise. All right, so let's get back to the movie. This movie is also, and I want to give everyone a huge sort of preview as well. The reason I picked out this movie is because not only because I watched it, because it looked cool to me, but because of synchronicity, tomorrow, when it's Tuesday topic day, the topic is actually going to be the Great Memory Wipe. And this movie is totally related to that. So, basically, this movie acknowledges that people lose their memories upon reincarnation or rebirth, right? When they're babies in the womb or whatever. And some people retain some people retain all, and some people retain hardly any, if anything at all, right? I allude to this all the time, and I call it spirit memory. I believe that our core energy, our electrical impulse, our spirit, our soul, whatever you want to call it, your point of focus, that contains and holds memory. And I believe it has to, because one of my concepts that I ponder is the purpose of this life. And for me, so far, the purpose and the most reasonable explanation is simple experience. No good, no bad, but it all must be experienced. All of this experience. That's a little, deep philosophical stuff, well, I might get into in another video, but I'm just saying I understand both sides, and especially this concept of retaining this memory from another life. I do not, I enjoy being JayDreamerZ. I do. I love it. It's fun. It's a great time. Like, I'm not ready for it to end. However, I acknowledge that I have these flashes, these glimpses, these memory smells, I don't know what to call them, of something that is not JayDreamerZ. Something that is not this vessel, this body, this bag, this sack filled, this ugly bag of water. I don't know what you want to call it. It's different, but it's vivid. And it's not like a vivid picture like I'm remembering this movie right here or something. It's this spirit memory. It's something I feel, something I sense, something that envelops me from time to time. So that's why movies like this resonate with me. Robert Wharton's in the chat and says, JayDreamerZ, does this movie remind you of Highlander? Pfft, yes, right? Totally. Highlander, there can only be one. See, that's the thing. They're killing each other, but they're saying there can only be one. Like, there's no need to kill each other if there's only one, right? That's not a deception. What is that? That's like some kind of an error in the Highlander thinking, I would say. Like, there's already one. There can only be one. If there's only one, then if you kill somebody else to, you know, whatever, like, don't get me wrong. I understand. I totally understand. And plus, Jet Li's movie called The One, same concept, right? But it's like the one as... It's two sides of the exact same coin. On one side, you've got people who want to be independent. However, they're inevitably going to become one. Then you've got those people that want everybody to be a part of their group or their oneness or their revolution or whatever it is, and they're ultimately going to become one. That is the ultimate goal, and it goes in and out and back and forth between both of these sides. There's the same side. I'm sorry to tell you. Have fun with it. Do it, you know, play with it how you like. It's your life. But they're the same exact thing, just so you know. Who else we got? Decanio Baggio's in the chat. Did I tell you guys I'm going to start taking calls? I did, right? On Wednesdays. I'm so excited. I'm going to put like the phone number up and everything. But it is only going to be for members, just so you know. I got to do something special for the people who are supporting me and all my work that I do. So, hats off to them. Thank you, members. Let's see, we got Decanio Baggio says, JayDreamerZ, coconut oil or castor oil on your beard? I don't know. On the thing it says beard oil. So, whatever that is. I should probably look at it. Now I'm going to. No, thank you. DB's in the chat and says, JayDreamerZ, I'm guessing deja vu is a common theme in this movie. Actually, it's not. You would think so, right? And they show that like in the Matrix and stuff like that. However, I don't know. I'm not too sure deja vu is some sort of like remembering a past life. I like deja vu, and I believe that it means that there's something more to the world and our experience as we're having it at that moment. It definitely steps us outside of that existence in that moment and has us recognizing that moment, right? So that tells us it's important. But is it like a flashback to like a previous Earth life or something? I don't know. I'm not sure. Right now, I'll tell you my idea. I'm more inclined to believe that it's literally a glitch in the system that we live in. Okay? I don't want to call it a computer, you know, or get into deep simulation theory or anything. However, imagine, if you will, that outside the confines of what we call the sky and into what we refer to throughout time as the heavens, that there are other realms that are just like this one, if not exactly like this one, down to the DNA of every organic life. Screw that up. That sounded deep until I was like, man, I don't know how to describe that. But you know what I'm saying, right? What if that's the exact same thing? What if you or me and my alternate JayDreamerZ on some other world or whatever are linked somehow? And then there's so many worlds out there, and I'm just making this up off the top of the dome right now, but I'm just saying, like, it's something, right? Deja vu is something. So let's not go too far down that path. Rondorama AJ's in the chat and says, JayDreamerZ, what you said reminds me of what the Bible says about seeing in the spirit realm. Spiritual senses, tasting, feeling, hearing, and seeing what we normally wouldn't see. Paul Purdy regenerated. Hey, Paul. Welcome to the Good Vibe Tribe, Paul. It's good to have you. I love it when people get the regeneration one. That's my favorite one. Mo says Edwards says, JayDreamerZ, the movie critics were Siskel and Ebert. Oh, clearly you're like 20 minutes behind the video right now. Or I'm 20 minutes behind the chat. Angel Lovebud says, JayDreamerZ, I always feel like when I have deja vu that it came from a dream. That's also a strong possibility. The dream world, I don't believe that the dream world is just random neurons firing off and electrical impulses. It's super random, etc. I don't know. It doesn't feel right to me. And we've got Mo says Edwards. I believe deja vu is time stitched together. Interesting. All right, let's get back to this movie real quick. I want to actually jump in the chat and just chat with you guys for a bit. Oh, in order to... Okay, so basically these people admit that there comes a time when people lose their spirit memory. They have a block. It's blocked off. Now, in Hinduism, this is called Maya. Maya is the veil of forgetfulness. It means to curtain from. It means to hide. It means to conceal. It means to forget, essentially, is Maya, right? And it's not a bad thing. It's just a tool. That's what you got to understand. It's not a bad thing. It's just a tool. It's not there to, to impede your progress, to mess you up or anything. It's just a tool that's necessary, right? Can you use that tool to grow, to overcome? Well, first you have to recognize that you have a tool before you can use it, right? The Conio Baggio, again, in the chat, says, JayDreamerZ, what's the best part of waking up? Folgers in your cup. I know, you said that earlier in the chat. I do catch some things from time to time. All right, let's see. So, in order to get the memory back, this is interesting, right? Because this guy over here, Mark Wahlberg, he's an amnesiac the entire time. And this concept is also woven throughout much of sci-fi and various movies, even romantic comedies like 50 First Dates, right? People just forget. The whole movie is about somebody who forgets, doesn't know who they are. They wake up, they can't remember anything. And you're like, whoa, I don't know why, but this really resonates with me. I want to find out what they do in response. Might be something to that as well. Talking about hidden history and our ancient past. So, anyhow, to get the memory back, they basically hook his head up to this like electrode device, and they say, we have to shock your mind. Think about that. Think about the words they use. I mean, that's a part of what she said, but she said that. In order to get your memories back, your spirit memory, we have to shock your mind. Your mind needs to be shocked. Now, is that electroshock? We'll actually get into the details of that tomorrow. And yes, but also no. Think about Uncle Fester. Remember, if you've ever seen The Addams Family? He lost his whole memory. That's another movie about an amnesiac. The Addams Family, I think it was the first one. I can't remember. But Uncle Fester totally lost his memory, got shocked by some storm, lost his memory, woke up, didn't know who he was. He's all pasty white and stuff. I've talked about Uncle Fester a few times. But anyhow, the way that you get your memory back is you have to shock your mind. You gotta snap out of it. Most people are sleeping. They're daywalkers. They're sleepwalkers. They're just robots. They're asleep. Some people refer to them as zombies. Obviously not real zombies, okay? Because, like, I draw the line, okay? I don't like that people call the asleep of the world zombies. Because I also believe in actual zombies. Like, so, trust me. Like, I get it. I get the correlation and the symbolism. But I'm like, wait till you see a zombie. Like, I get, like, so excited about that. Anyhow, the mind needs to be shocked. You have to shock your mind. You got to throw yourself off. You got to do a self-diagnostic. You got to do something that throws you off your game, something that challenges you. You have to be challenged. So let me tell you this. If you're going through trials and hardship and tribulations in life and you're broken and it's all fucked up and wrong, you're blessed. I hate to say it, but I also love to say it. Those are your trials. Those are the things that sharpen you. Those are things that shock your mind and wake you up and have you thinking a little bit differently than the rest of the world. So good on you. I hope you make it through it. I know I'm going through it, so hopefully you do too. Now, this movie is kind of similar to the movie Hancock. Remember Hancock with Will Smith? He doesn't remember who he is. Neither does Doctor Who. Neither does the people from the island. Neither does, I mean, like, it's so many of them. This concept, Fortnite, right? The video game, all throughout the video game world, all of this concept of amnesia is everywhere. And this movie's no exception. Oh, that's right. Angel Lovebud says that shocking in MIB. We're going to talk about the deneuralizer tomorrow. What's that? The deneuralizer. And he says all kind of, I forgot what he says. Man, we're totally going to talk about that. Oh, Memento, right? Okay, now let's get into some screen sharing because, you know, I'm tired of looking at these two guys. But boom, hold on one sec. All right, pal. I'm going to work a little magic on the computer, if I may. May I? Let's see. Nope, that is not it. Where is it? Oh, it's window capture. Okay, this should be good. All right, check this out. I'm going to do my best. Boom! Look at that. I'm getting better over the years, right? Now, this is actually the movie. Okay, I've got it up here. They tried to block it so I couldn't share it, but, you know, I figured out a way around that. I'm not going to play it, though, because then I will get a copyright strike. But I can skip through, as you can see. Oh, they also, check this out. So this is like their hideout, where the good guys live, essentially. I believe this is possibly symbolic of Mount Meru. I'd have to watch the, plus, there's like a lot of mud fossil stuff. Like, I see a lot of faces and body parts in there. Anyhow, I could totally skip through. Boom. Can't play it, but I can definitely skip through. I don't want to do that, though. So, what I want to do is I want to show you a picture of Angkor Wat. Now, if you've ever seen Ancient Aliens, as I'm sure at least half of you must have, because I've seen it, and if you're anything like me, you've seen it, right? They talk about this place every 5th episode, okay? Angkor Wat. There's like 4 different main places that they love to freaking talk about. So, I love that. This is Angkor Wat. Now, why is this relevant to the movie Infinite? It's because this woman and this man, the man and the woman who keep forgetting who they are and being reincarnated and trying to find each other and survive an apocalyptic event together, this is not just a theme in the movies. This is a theme throughout all religion. Every religion I've ever studied. Angkor Wat, this place right here in Cambodia, this is where they meet up every time. This is for the enlightened, the 2 enlightened that have their spirit memories, that they retain them. In the movie, they meet here every single time. Does this place strike you as just a random thing that was built, you know, with no purpose behind it? Angel Wings has no boundaries. All right, Angel Wings, thank you for your donation. Did a super chat and says, I've been in a few car accidents where I've been hit in the head badly, but it made me remember crazy stuff. After that, I could connect to other entities and remember my light connection to everything. I absolutely believe you, Angel. And I see that concept all throughout the movies and books and history where it literally takes something to jolt the mind. Sometimes it's a physical jolt. Sometimes it's just an energetic one as we are thrown off of our game, right? I'd also kind of, I don't know why, it reminds me of that movie Powder as well, right? All these different movies where people get hit by lightning and stuff. I love it. Well, I'm glad you're okay, Angel, and thank you so much. Oh, it's a cool picture, too. I see why you're called Angel Wings. And thanks for your donation as well. Now, let's get over to Angkor Wat, okay? Watt. Interesting word, right? Watt. It's almost electrical in nature. Watt. Wattage, right? 1.21 gigawatts. This place right here, this has purpose behind it, okay? It's not just so that it looks nice, so that hundreds of years later when airplanes and helicopters are popular, you can have this cool Google Earth photo and it'll look like a popular tourist destination or something. No, this has purpose. A regeneration? Triple L? Trip 0L? I don't know. Welcome to the Good Vibe Tribe, Trip. So this is Angkor Wat, okay? This is where they meet. And remember, they retain their memories. This place is made of pure sandstone. Let me, you know what? I don't have a picture of it. Oh, let's Google a picture of it. Why not? Angkor Wat. Who knows how to spell Angkor Wat? A-N, look at that. I already had it on. A-N-G-K-O-R, Wat. What? Now we need to see pictures. Boom. This is Angkor Wat. Do you see this place right here? Let me find a really good one for you, because people like myself, you know how they say words, a picture has 1,000 words or something like that? This place speaks to me. And not just this place, but many places. Ow, I just bit my tongue. Many places. I get a feeling about it. Look at this. Do you see that? This is like the background of a Street Fighter video game. Not real. Like, I mean, I'm just kidding. It's super real. This is actually more real than the buildings and skyscrapers and whatnot that we see today that serve little to no purpose. Allegedly. Look at this. This is a design. And the reason I wanted to show you the image of it from above is because this has a grander design than just some local place to worship Vishnu. Ah. Why did they make Angkor Wat? Now, remember, in the movie, these people, they met here at this place. They gained their memories. The man and the woman met here. They retain their memories, and they go on trying to believe in humanity and save the world until the next apocalypse. Whew. Welcome to my life. So that place was built specifically for the god Vishnu. So let's take a look at Vishnu real quick. I love Vishnu. He's one of my favorite ones. Vishnu's a good dude. Vishnu is the preserver. Let's make that bigger. Pow. Flip-pow. Let's scooch it over a bit. Flip-pow. I can't do it. Oh, I just scooch over here. Hey! Andre Artioli is feeling the vibe. Flood the vibe. Flood the chat with good vibes and emojis. I will. Let's do it. I'm going to give you some emojis, bro. I'm taking a second out to give some emojis. Fa-pow. Yes. All right, sweet. And also, thanks for bringing my attention back to the chat. We've got a few comments here. The building looks like a microchip. Rondorama AJ says the building looks like a microchip. They're talking about Angkor Wat. Let me get back to that picture. Did I take it away? Where'd it go? Oh, that's totally not the right thing. Here it is. Boom. That does look like a microchip. And it's funny you said that, because I literally Googled processors and microchips and stuff like that, because I wanted to figure out what the water was about, honestly. I was trying to figure that out because I've come across that quite a few times. I think maybe it has to do with being a coolant of some sort. I'm not sure. I haven't looked into it a whole bunch, but yeah, this is a grid. Let me tell you something. The most powerful civilizations always laid out their cities in the form of what we would call magic spells, okay, basically. But they're directing the flow of energy. It's literally a grid and a chip, if you want to call it that. You know, not a chip, but it's a spell. I mean, this is how you manipulate energy right here, and that was turned into a temple for Vishnu. Now let's talk about Vishnu. I want to show you guys something. First and foremost, let's read about who Vishnu is. It says Vishnu is the preserver and protector of the universe. His role is to return to the earth in troubled times. Shout out Doctor Who and Jesus and everybody else, and restore the balance of good and evil. Vishnu's worshippers, usually called Vaishnava, Navi, that usually implies like priests or speakers or oracles, consider him the greatest god. They regard the other gods as lesser or demigods. But what else? Let's read about this too right here. I want to show you something. Vishnu is the god of preservation, the great maintainer who often appears in various incarnations, avatara, to provide salvation for humanity. Think about that. Snap out of it, religiousness. Stop with the religiousness. Salvation to humanity. Saving people, actually saving them from something that would kill them. Okay? Like, yes, I get that. There are levels. There are levels. Boom. There's the moral, there's the spiritual, there's this and that, but there's also the literal, actual, physical meaning to some of this stuff. Vishnu is Jesus. Vishnu is Buddha. Vishnu is the Christ. Vishnu is the light. Vishnu is blue. Let's take a look. Actually, hold up. Time out. Where is Vishnu? Where'd he go? I thought I had pictures of Vishnu. There's Vishnu. Here we go. Now, I like Vishnu. Let's take a look at Vishnu. All these pictures are very similar. But as you can see by this one over here, let me just pull that over here. See this one on the far left over here? That one right there? Light blue being, savior, with 2 arms that go out and up, and 2 arms that go out and down. Look at this one right here. This one's cool too. I like this one. Let's make that a little bigger so you can see it. Oh, let me just scooch it over. Check him out, man. Vishnu is a beast. Look at Vishnu. Now, here's another thing. In Hinduism, many of these gods are never just depicted as like, hey, what's up? I'm Vishnu. They have symbols, many symbols, that correlate to properties that these gods exhibit. And when I say gods, I mean electromagnetic phenomena / life / sentience / God, whatever you want to call it. This is the blue beam that shoots up from the middle of our world when our poles reverse and that red hydrogenated plasma from above, the dome of the world, the electromagnetic grid comes down. The plasma sphere, I'm trying to remember of all of academics. I like to talk in a way that everyone can relate to, in case you haven't, picked up on that. So I'll bounce back and forth in my terminology sometimes. But that's just so that I can, Anyway, this is the blue beam. He shoots up. The arms go down because of the magnetic bend around Mount Meru, or Arupus Negra. And the arms go up because of how the magnetics work above once you get up past the neutral point and stuff like that. And it makes like a little plasma stick figure in the sky for a millennia, forever. And people see it, and it moves. It's alive up there. It's not just static or anything. It's up there. It's changing, from decade to decade, moving about like the wacky flailing arms guy or whatever. I don't know. I don't know if it's that bad. Hopefully not, because that would crack me up. Oh my God. If it looks like that, I'm going to laugh every single time I see it. I'll be thankful, but it'll crack me up. Why are there snakes above his head? Right? All this red spectrum with snakes and stuff like that. He's actually sitting on those snakes. So a lot of times when they draw him in these pictures... Oh, what did I just do? Hold up. I'm going to go back over here. Make this a little bigger. Can we? No? I'll scooch this then. Anyway, he's sitting on these snakes, okay? These snakes are called shisha, right? Let me see if I can find a picture of him sitting on them. Hey, see that? See those tentacles? Those aren't even really snakes. Look at that. In this particular image, these are tentacles. I don't see snake heads or anything. He's standing on those. That is called the god Shisha. Let's check out who Shisha is. Boom. Does that remind you of Cobra Kai? Or is it just me? Because it reminds me of the Karate Kid. Now, let's check out Shisha. Shishang. Sheshnag. However you want to pronounce it. Shisha, also known as Shishanga. Oh, I'm sorry. Shishanaga. The naga part is the snake. The reptilian, if you want to call it that. I really don't... Oh, check that out. I got all weird in the... See? This is why I had technical difficulties earlier. I'm just going to cut to the chase. That's the plasma. Okay? That's the plasma that comes down out of our world. That's not some physical, demonic, weird-looking, split-headed Hydra animal thing. No, this is plasma. And the reason that Vishnu stands upon the plasma, and it's shown him kind of hovering over him, is because Vishnu represents the blue beam of our world. That Shisha, the king of the Nagas, right? Or the fire serpents, or the fire worms, or however you want to call them, dragons, etc., the dragon race. They surround the world. So you've got Vishnu, the blue beam in the middle, boom, with the sort of plasma stick figure character looking thing. And then you've got the red plasma that surrounds the world, covering him. But then what happens is he saves humanity. He offers a chance to reset the balance when it's tipped too far in one direction, Vishnu shows up at just the right time. And that's why I hang in there. I know a lot of you guys think this life sucks sometimes. I do too. And it gets to me sometimes. But what's the reason I hang in there? I was thinking about this earlier today. It's because I know that some stuff's about to happen. I know I have the opportunity to witness something that can only be seen once in eons. I'm not giving up. I want to see it. I need to. I have to at this point. Even if I don't, I still have to. Anyways, so this is the plasma. Now, what does it mean? Where did it go? Let's read some of this. I just want to read some of this. So, Shisha is the king of all the Nagas. What does it say about Nagas? Spiral. Nice. The Naga, or Nagi, are divine, semi-divine deities, or a semi-divine race of half-human, half-serpent beings that reside in the netherworld, or another world, and can occasionally take human form. Rituals devoted these supernatural beings to have been blah, 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 something, something. So, essentially, I believe that there's two things happening there. That's so weird how it's doing that to my face. There's two things that are happening there. One is that you have the plasma, okay, as symbolic of the snakes and stuff. And then two, you have actual beings and humanoid figures and monsters and stuff that come down with that plasma and make their appearance and introduction into the world, which is now you have an event that brings you half humanoid entities and half snake-looking entities, etc., and they smash them up over time, etc. It could be more than that, but that's just off the top of the dome. Let's see here. Shisha is said to hold all of the planets of the universe on his hoods and to constantly sing the glories of the god Vishnu from all of his mouths. You see how they're not enemies, they work in tandem. They complement one another. It is only us on the scale of polarity and the illusion of selfishness that we love so much, where we see these as opposing figures instead of recognizing that they're actually necessary to one another. Let's see. He's sometimes referred to as Anatta Shisha, which translates as endless Shisha, or Adi Shisha, first Shisha. Okay, that's not what I'm trying to read. Where's the good stuff? Oh, here we go, here we go. Shisha, in Sanskrit texts, especially those relating to mathematical calculation, implies the remainder, that which remains when all else ceases to exist. So here's the thing. The reason that it's covering him is because the plasma is above this world. The reason he's standing on top of it is because he has conquered the plasma that has attacked the world, right? During the end of days or whatever, the world is being destroyed and going to all hell, it's breaking loose, etc. And Vishnu shows up, the light of the world, puts his foot down, boom, and all of a sudden all those fireworms in the sky, all that plasma, electromagnetic energy, electrical storm, whatever you want to call it, gets cut off because that electromagnetic grid went back up, trapping the remnant, trapping the remainder, leaving behind a remnant of that energy that whose sole purpose is to come in and to destroy, set the world on fire, kill, steal, get rid of things, change the world. That's its entire purpose, and it gets cut off from its source, which is its programmer, giving it all of its instructions. Okay, good. You entered Earth? Great. Now I need you to just like go zap people in their heads. All right, great. Now I need you to this. Oh, communication's cut off. I'm talking about the red plasma. Okay, that red plasma gets cut off, and it leaves a remainder, and it stays here, thinking that it's individual. But what I'm saying is, if you look at all of the people in the world, it is clear to some of us that there are a remnant of people, a group of people, who just seem to be inclined to being evil, or bad, or hateful, or nihilist, or destructive, or whatever it is. And here's the thing, I don't even see them as being like the bad guys or whatever. I just say, hey, that's the remnant. That's all they know to do. That's their whole programming. They've reincarnated, boom. But the blue beam supplies its own spirit to this world. And it's healing, and it's giving, and it is amplifying, and energetic, and strengthening. Now I'm going off on a super tangent. All right, let's get off Shisha here. We talked about Vishnu, Angkor Wat. Let's get rid of that one. Aren't these cool pictures? I really like these of Vishnu. So you can see like the serpent underneath he stands upon, and then those that cover him. See how they make it like a covering, right? They make it like a little... Anyway, all right. What else do we got? Angkor Wat. I pulled up another one of these. I think that was it. Okay, cool. Well, that's all I wanted to window share with you guys. Let me go ahead and bring up the picture again. Booyah. And I'm going to jump in the chat because I have not been looking at the chat. So essentially that is the movie. Okay. And at the end of the movie, like the guy shocks his mind. He gets his memories back. He develops superpowers. Or remembers how to use his superpowers. That's definitely all plasma apocalypse symbolism as well. I believe that we go through this grander process of forgetting and weakening and losing these abilities and losing touch with nature and not being able to tap into the natural energies that once amplified and existed everywhere, because it pools up, it runs out. And then it gets flooded in again, and boom, magic and superpowers and gods and super genius, evil geniuses and all kinds of crazy stuff. Just, you know, you won't need television. You're not going to need TV, okay? Trust me, because you will be TV. Your story will be some future television show or movie thousands of years ahead of its time. And they'll just tell your story without your permission or anything. Because you're a part of it. So am I. Never-ending story. All right, I'm back in the chat. Let's see. Let me go ahead and scroll through here. I'm just going to read some of the latest comments, and then we're going to wrap things up. Remember, tomorrow we're doing Tuesday Topic Day, and we're talking about the worldwide, the Great Memory Wipe. That's going to be tomorrow's topic. Dusty Blue. Let me go ahead and just hide this user on this channel. Dusty Blue's a douchebag. See, that's why I every time I see some sort of messed up comments in the chat, I love all of you. But I promise you, I'm going to make that chat. Right now, it's like you got to be a subscriber for 5 minutes. That's to get rid of trolls. Next time I see a screwed up comment, I'm just going to make it 10. And then next time I'll make it 20. And then eventually I'll make it members. And then eventually I won't have a chat. You know what I mean? So if you see negative people in the chat, do everybody a favor, because I don't like to maintain the chat. I left my own YouTube, what was it? Facebook group or whatever, because I could not maintain it. I do not like to keep my eyes and scrutinize and see what everyone's saying and stuff. But every once in a while I come across it. And it brings up a lot of emotions and feelings and some things that I'm really trying to let go of. Because I know that there's a lot of retards and idiots in the world, and I would rather just not deal with them. Like, be on your way. Go. Go. There's guards at the door. Kick them out. Right? And by the way, I also, every time I see awesome comments and whenever I watch the chat the next day, that's whenever I make people moderators. So just so you know, you just earn it, you know? And you earn it by me just seeing what you're talking about on all the different videos. All right, so let's see here. What else we got? JayDreamerZ. This is El Madero. This is what I've been working on through syncretism. Blessings. Blessings right back to you. Angel Lovebird says, JayDreamerZ, I feel that it's possibly already surging. Vibrational shift is causing everything to be amplified, positive and negative. I totally agree with you. I'm on board with that. I see it. I feel it. I experience it all the time, and I see it on TV and stuff. Yokohama Mike says, JayDreamerZ, thanks for your work, thanks for your book, and thanks for being you. Hey, thanks, bro. Thanks for being you, too. What else? What else? We got Lena. Lena knows what's up. Thanks, Lena. FPV is crushing on Lena in the chat. Big up, Jay. Hey, what's up? The Holy. What else? Okay, well, anyhow, I'm kind of done talking about this movie. Let's go ahead and take this off there. Pow. I couldn't figure out how to do my intro, my Truth and Movie Monday intro. and I had all kinds of issues. But I do want to tell you guys I'm super excited because Wednesday I'm gonna test out the call-in feature for the members videos. So if you're there, show up, check it out, call in, let's chat, tell me what's on your mind. Even if you have comments about my other videos I've done in the past or throughout the week or whatever, that's going to be our time to just chill, hang out. It's not going to be like, hey, you have to stick to the subject or whatever. This is Wednesdays is going to be purely for like just chilling, hanging out, really engaging in the chat. Like right now, I'm really not engaging in the chat. I'm looking for my name to be highlighted, etc. because I had a presentation today, and because, you know, I'm kind of making this presentation or whatever. I love to talk to all of you though. So hopefully I'll see you guys on Wednesdays. I hope that you've been enjoying the content, and, you know, as my life gets better, this YouTube channel is going to get better. And although I'm pulling myself out of a sort of funk and, you know, some stuff that I've went through with my personal life and my family and stuff like that, I've seen a lot of really good omens lately, and you're all a part of that. So with that being said, I want to thank you all for coming. Until next time, I'm JayDreamerZ saying good vibes and goodbye.